In 3, 2, 1. Hello, my fellow citizens of the 7th universe. My name is PatPlayer2, if you wish to be that specific, and today we're going to be talking about the Roblox game Dragon Ball Online Generations. For people who didn't know, came out last week, it got released, was freaking awesome. I really enjoyed it, but for now, the alpha release is officially closed, and you can't play it anymore, unfortunately. So, this particular video that we're going to be talking about is how I felt about the game, how I feel like it should, continue as developing into the game, and also just what I thought of it, honestly. Like, what did I think of this game? I mean, I already said it was a good game, but what did I honestly think about it? All right, so before we continue on this anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the past couple videos. If you have already, if you haven't, go ahead, check it out. If you don't know what game I'm talking about, or maybe want to see some more gameplay or my point of view of it, it's really, really fun. And yeah, let's get this show on the road. So, what do I think? Let's just start off with the big question. What do I think about Dragon Ball Online Generations? Well, with Dragon Ball Online Generations, it was a fantastic step into what we need as a Roblox game for Dragon Ball. There's not a lot of Dragon Ball games on Roblox, or at least unique ones. Yes, there's Final Stand. Yeah, I have 200 plus episodes on. Yeah, I know, we already have that. But the other Dragon Ball games that are currently on Roblox that are just, the only ones there are, they have the Flaming Path game that I played a couple of times. Fun game. The other ones are simulators. As you guys already know, or probably already know at this point, I really don't like the simulator games. I know they're very easy, digestible games, but I feel there's no substance. There's no, it's like you get like a taste. It's like, yay. It's like candy. It's cool. It's like, yay, game. But then it goes away and it's like, you're just like, wow, I want something new afterwards. Simulators are not that fun, but this particular game was something that Roblox really needed when it comes to anime, Dragon Ball games, and just games in general. It's got the in-depth customizations. It's got all the different clothing options, which, you haven't seen. Custom models, by the way, custom fighting. It was good fighting system. I don't care what people say. It's a great fighting system. This is what games should be. It shouldn't just be, pressing left click and that's it. No, bad. Bad at all. That's some really, really in-depth fighting customization. Just doing like the different combos, comboing your moves with it. It was freaking awesome doing it. Yes, it took me a second to learn how to do it. But hey, a good game is, you got to get a little bit more in-depth if you want your game to stand out from the rest of it. It was really freaking good. And also, it had the option, which most Roblox games don't have this option, is that you could play like how you would on simulator games, which most of them you press E and Q to punch and do that stuff, or you can use your mouse. You literally could use one or the other, and I think eventually there will be probably Xbox support. I couldn't say about mobile support, because this game's a little bit more in-depth, and I don't know if a mobile device would be able to house this particular game, but I'm probably certain it'll have a console support, or at least a controller support eventually. But for right now, the fact that there is variations between keyboards is something you don't see a lot. And that's something that you should touch on. Game developers, when it comes to Roblox, game developers, give people options to go between the EQ system or your mouse system. Because some people like just using their keyboard, and some people like using my mouse. Like me. I like using my mouse more than I like doing the keyboard, because it makes me feel like, I'm too constricted if I have my left hand doing literally everything. I feel way too constricted. I like having it on both hands. So, yeah, that's what more developers should do. That's great. Sonny, you did good on that. Now, I know I'm praising this game. Let's just talk about a little bit more about the praising. The quests. There are so many freaking quests out there. I know a lot of them are just like, hey, these people are being mean. Go beat them up. Yeah, that's how most of the quests are. But at least there's variations of the people. Some of the people that you face are using different moves, different move sets. And they have different healths, different levels, different looks entirely. So it's like, it's pretty dang good. It's not like you're just like copying and pasting people that are just slightly stronger. You actually have different moves in there and different variations. So it actually feels like you're facing something different. Also, the first times I actually faced someone, holy crap. I don't think I've gotten like a rush from a Roblox game like that in a long time. Because, my God, that was absolutely like stunning. The first couple of fights I did, I was like, oh my God, this is so in-depth. This is so crazy. I'm in love right now. So that's exactly what we need. It's exactly what we need. The storyline system, it looks like a lot of it's just go over this guy, go beat him up. Yay, hunky-dory, everything's good. That's perfectly fine, because story missions are probably just going to be, when it comes to Dragon Ball, you beat someone up. That's Dragon Ball for you. There's not really, you go over here, help this person, you know, get some carrots for the family. That's not Dragon Ball. You go over, punch somebody, you punch them in the face, you make them wish they never showed up, and that's pretty much it. So you're probably going to get those when it comes to the campaign. That's okay. I would like to see, when it comes to campaign, some more unique items to make people want to do the campaign. Because right now, the way that the campaign working is just, you just do it, you get like the same amount of experience you would a normal mission. It's like, I feel like you should be able to unlock, like they gives you like some like, you know, accessories you wouldn't be able to get unless you did the story. Or you are given like kind of like how games are, you can continue the story, and every single time you beat a mission, more accessories are unlockable in the shop. That's another cool thing. So hide everything, and then make it so that the more stuff you do in the storyline, the more you can actually buy and unlock for your characters. That's pretty dang cool. Now, in the past, when it comes to Dragon Ball Online Revelations, the way that you got moves were through mentors all across the map, which, by the way, that was actually a really cool system. But all across the map, there were mentors that you can get certain levels, certain moves from, so you can house those ones. I don't mind having like some of those in the new Dragon Ball Online Generations, but at the same time, I don't want that many. They were everywhere. That was literally the thing you did. You did parallel quests or mentor quests. Now in this game, I would like to see some variation of that. Maybe having like a little bit of all thrown into the game. Like, maybe that's a little bit too much, but just like, you know, some variation of how to get certain moves, not just buying them in the shop. I liked how you had to work in order to get it. Like, you got that Kamehameha, you gotta work for it. Another game that did that was the Dragon Ball Super games, like, you know, Super 2 and 3. Those ones also had that, where you went up to a mentor, you fought them, and then you got like the Kamehameha, or you got like a Masenko or something like that. That's good. I like those. You should keep that up. Now, we need to talk about some things that need to be changed in Dragon Ball Online Generations. And honestly, it's not a lot, to be quite honest. Like, when I was going around that game, I was just absolutely blown away as to how that game was. One thing, it's going down. The map is huge. The map is huge. I like how big the map is. But I'm going to tell you this right now. It takes so long to get from one side of the map to the other. It takes like 3-4 minutes to get from one side of the map to the other. And if you're going to have quests that make you go on the opposite side of the map to do, I know that like you spread all the quests out, you spread all the people out so they wouldn't collide with each other. Yeah, I understand that. But if you're making a quest giver say, oh yeah, you need to beat these guys, but they're on the complete opposite side of the continent, go beat them up. I don't like them. I've never met them in my life, but go beat them up. Yeah, that needs to change a little bit, in my opinion. And make it so that maybe there's like fast travels, like you can actually fast travel to the next area, or make it so that flying outside of combat is faster and doesn't take up stamina. Because that was one thing too, that like, yeah, you could fly out there, but eventually you just run out of stamina, so you have to wait for that stamina bar to go back up, and then you fly, and then it goes away, and then you wait, and then you fly again, and then that's it. You have to make it so that there is an accessible way to get from point A to point B, especially if it's like several miles away or several kilometers away, depending if you're from the EU or the one country that talks about miles and feet, which is America. So that's one criticism I had of the game. If you're going to make people go from point A to point B, and it's a long thing away, make sure they have items to get from point A to point B. Maybe add a Nimbus. Maybe there is a Nimbus, or Nimbus takes up stamina. I don't know. Make it so that there's a way. I didn't see it, but, you know, I'm just an average player. So maybe, you know, add something like that. I don't know. That's pretty cool. So another thing, too, we need to make it so that... Shut up, phone. You need to make it so that when you do quests, people that are joining in that mission, even if they're not, like, in the same party... I don't know if there's a party system like there was in Dragon Ball and Revelations. Revelations had a party system, right? I know some other games had it. There's a party system. Makes people want to actually go and join a party. Yeah, do that. But if you are fighting, like, if you're fighting a mob, if you're fighting, like, you know, a quest, and you're, like, quest number 4 out of 5, got to kill that guy, and somebody comes up behind you and kills off the 1 HP person that you're currently fighting off, yeah, that needs to... that needs to make it so that you have actually, you have credit for it. A lot of Roblox games don't do that. Like, one of the games that actually did do that was Final Stand, that, like, you could just throw in a couple key blasts and you can get credit for it. It's kind of cheap. It's a cheap way of doing it, especially for people like me that have an entire lobby following them and literally will beat the person up for them, and I literally could just stand here and talk to you guys. Yeah, that is a little bit cheap, but at the same time, it's also not okay for you to beat up this guy all by yourself, taking like 5 minutes to beat up a guy. Some guy comes in and just goes, and then they get the credit for it. Not cool. That's just a Roblox thing in general. Not cool. Gotta fix those. That's one thing we gotta fix. Party system. I don't know if there was a party system. We gotta have a party system in that game to make it so that people will actually work together. I feel like that would be really cool. Now, another thing? We need something for parties. Now, I know that's like Roblox. A lot of people just play this solo, just play Roblox games. I'm one of them. I don't really play too many with other people. I'm usually by myself playing these games, unless like I have like Ray with me. Usually don't play Roblox games with other people, but let's do something that makes it so that you can play with other people. There was, I'm pretty certain it was Online Revelations as well, that had a raid system. Not very in-depth, but it did have a raid system where you got unique abilities and unique items for fighting a mob that you had to beat up with like 6 other people. Like, one of which you had to fight, like, grade 8 Vegeta. And you had to have 6 people do it. Kind of like how Xenoverse does that, where you have, like, the raid battles. And you get unique items and unique stats and skills based on doing those particular missions. You kind of have, in order to get people to do something, you have to have a reward. People are not just going to do it just to be like, oh, I did it. Yeah, you didn't get anything out of it, but the experience was cool. The thing that we enjoyed, the thing that we collected was friendship and the journey that we had to beat this guy. No, that doesn't work in video games. That works in anime. That doesn't work in video games. You got to give people something. So make it so, like, you get a unique sword, like double Janimba swords or something stupid. You got to have something stupid that doesn't actually do anything, but makes your character absolutely freaking awesome looking, and people are gonna be like, yo, how the heck did you do that? So that's kind of like a system that's very similar to that, is how Destiny 2 by Bungie does their stuff. You can fight me like how you feel about Destiny. They do raid stuff well, okay? They're like one of the few games that does raid stuff well that's not an actual MMO. Do something not that caliber, not that crazy, but do something like that where unique items are, distributed to the party for everybody that's involved, and you have to do raids in order to do that. That's actually something that I feel like would be cool. Now, I'm thinking of one more thing that we need to talk about. One more thing that we need to talk about for Dragon Ball Online Generations. What needs to change? What needs to change? What needs to change? Yeah, sure, why the heck not? I'll just say it, because literally everyone's going to say it in the chat. Where them transformations at? I know it was at alpha. That I wasn't going to expect that the fact that there was going to be transformations in the alpha Roblox game right off the bat, because they wanted to make sure that Sunny wanted to make sure that everything freaking worked first before they added transformations into it. But where are them a Super Saiyan? Where my Super Saiyan at? Why wasn't he able to go to grade 8 or something like that? That will be added. But you know what? Why not go extra? Do some crazy transformations. Make it so that people actually want to play other races. Because Saiyans, obviously, in every single Dragon Ball game on Roblox or Minecraft or literally any kind of Dragon Ball game that features multiple races, people are going to gravitate towards the Saiyans because those are the ones that are most in depth. Those are the ones that have the most transformations. Like, there's Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, 4, God, Blue, Rose, Ultra Instinct, MUI. There's literally, and then Berserk. There's literally 10 canon transformations for Saiyans. And then what about like bio androids, semi-perfect, perfect, and like extreme perfect, maybe Cell X. That's literally it for that. Frieza race, I don't know, second form, third form, fourth form, full power, golden form, or golden cooler form. Maybe you could even say like the meta coolers and stuff like that. You can add that, but make it so that there's some race transformations that aren't really Dragon Ball-esque, but make people want to actually play that. Final Stand actually did that, especially with the Namekians and the Majins, because there's no transformations for them really, besides Great Majin or absorbing certain people. Make up some transformations. Make it so that people want to actually access those other races, so that they're not being so hindered by the fact that everybody has Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. Do something crazy. I want to see this, Sonny. You have the smarts to do this. Make something absolutely crazy that makes me want to play a Beerus race character. Do something. Like, go something crazy. Make it so that I want to be a Bojack race. Make it so that I want to be one of, like, you know, the 15 races that you have that's not Saiyans or half Saiyans. Make it crazy for me, my friend. And I want to see some variations. I want to see them in the game. That's one thing I liked about this game is that there's so many races. But one thing is for certain, not every single race is going to get the love it deserves. So please, I'm telling you right now, do it for me. I want to be a Beerus race, or I want to be a Bio Android, and I want to look absolutely amazing, but I also want to be able to keep up with Super Saiyans, and like Super Saiyan gods, and like Ultra Instincts and stuff. Come on, do it for me, all right? On that note, we're going to say thank you guys for joining once again. Let me know that in comments below. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the alpha of this game? Does it deserve more love? Do you think it will last into the full series? Are you guys pumped for it, or were you a little bit disappointed? Let me know in the comments below. Kind of curious what you guys have to say. My final thoughts. And on that note, we're going to say thank you guys. Enjoy once again, and I'll be seeing you later.
Wow. Hmm?